All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good day to wherever you are in the world. We are joined today by a true powerhouse in the world of digital scaling and personal branding. Dre Medici is the CEO of Grow With Us, a firm that has fundamentally changed the trajectory of over 7,500 clients worldwide. By leveraging a guaranteed done for you service, Dre has mastered the art of increasing social presence, inbound leads, and most importantly, bottom line revenue. As recognized by a Forbes member, he sits at the cutting edge of how modern businesses win with attrition economy. Dre's journey is defined by relentless drive and build. Beyond his agency, he has spearheaded Medici enterprise events, producing high level masterminds and conferences, and founding Good Life Express. Through his digital courses, he has mentored thousands of individuals on the pillars of health, wellness, and confidence. His work isn't just about likes and follows, it's about strategic engineering of personal brands and creating real world authority and independence. For those of us who are transitioning out of the uniform, the biggest challenge often is translating our military identities into a civilian brand to where people want to invest in. Dre specializes in exactly that, talking about core messaging and scaling to heights of proven, repeatable strategies. We're here to learn from him, hear his stories, and how he talks about how he's building his empires. Please join me in welcoming a true leader in the digital space, Dre Medici. Dre, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me, Clay. I appreciate it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, pleasure to chat with you today. And we want to chat with you. You don't have military experience, but we want to kind of pick your brain a little bit. My first question is, where do you see veterans being in the cornerstone of branding and taking their military experience and repackaging it into a personal brand to appeal to the civilian market?
100%. Amazing question. Well, one of the things that I always share about my story is I actually became, so-called entrepreneur at 9 years old. I was already selling any toys that I can get my hands on. 10 years old, I started reselling limited edition sneakers, sleeping outside of Foot Locker with my dad until, from 12 a.m. to 9 a.m. getting the shoes. And one thing that I always like to mention is throughout that journey of entrepreneurship, doing all these different side hustles, when I would camp out and sleep outside of the stores until 8 a.m., I remember having to go to soccer games at, 12 p.m. on that same day and only getting like 4 hours of sleep. And so I always like to credit a lot of my success and my discipline to me growing up as an athlete playing soccer while managing business at the same time. And so I think that goes hand in hand. As a military veteran, you have a very, very unique discipline that not many people in this world have. And that's a talent and a characteristic that you need to share and empower other people with. You have a much stronger story than the average person. So I think it gives you an easy route at how to go on and start your personal brand by adding that into your story, sharing that with other people, allowing that to motivate people and to get closer and resonate with you. Also, there's so many military veterans out there. So if you can become that pioneer, elite authority as somebody who's been, a former military veteran, you can easily have all those people that maybe aren't currently offering any additional help, resonate with you and instantly become a follower or a member of any community that you offer within your personal brand. So I think that's definitely a elite advantage that everyone in this community has.
I love that. And, that's absolutely there is unique branding for all of us because we're all uniquely different and vast amount of military careers, jobs, things like that. But there are some here, and I wanted to get your input on this. And this was something that happened with me when I made my transition out of the military into the civilian world in talking about social presence. Some of us have had to be off grid for security reasons, and we had to, because of certain avenues, we couldn't really brand ourselves on social media, whether it be like LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere like that. What would be your thought process on we're getting out, we're transitioning? What would be that first step in building that digital footprint from scratch for people who have that hesitancy because we've had that beaten into us for security or other reasons?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, everyone's always going to have their own, personal beliefs, right? When it comes to security. And, you can always be offline. For example, there's a very interesting business model these days where if you can get good at certain marketing skills, you can leverage other people's personal brand and authority and still be able to make money online. For example, let's say you have a friend that is blowing up as a fitness, coach, and he has a very big following. Well, you can say, "Hey, brother, let me go inside of your Instagram account, generate some leads, answer some of these people that you're leaving unseen, and now you can start generating money helping him with his personal brand without needing to be online yourself." Now, if you are somebody that does, want to kind of block out the noise, realize our security is probably already in, there's a lot of public data out there already, and you want to start building, the best way to start is, I always say, start engaging with content in your niche that you like. So if it's maybe another Army veteran that's, having success on social media, or just other people that you didn't even know about that you start coming across online. And the easiest way to start seeing success online is taking what you see they're doing. So if, for example, they put like a funny stereotype or just something relatable in text on a just simple B-roll video with a trending audio, and you see that it's something that you resonate with and it has a lot of engagement, you can actually copy that exact same text that they use to drive that engagement word for word with the same audio. And it's not copying, because 99.9% of the times they also got that from somebody else. And that's kind of how social media works. So a lot of people come on social media, they want to just turn the camera and just talk about whatever they think is interesting. And that's great. Sometimes you can have success with that. But 10 out of 10 times, you're going to have a lot easier pathway to gaining that traction, gaining your followers very, very quickly. If you don't try to reinvent the wheel, you see what's already working and you recreate that either word for word or add a little bit of your own spin to it.
I love it. Just kind of replicating the success. And for people who've come from my part of the world within the Army, yeah, you do see a lot of that repetition. And that's something that I've seen some marketing people talk in the past about. Take the foundation and keep running with it versus doing something completely gonzo and completely, guerrilla, to where you're just trying to push it out there absolutely, differently. But that you brought up something, I really wanted to pick your brain on this, is when it comes down to people making their own brand and making their own, processes online, but they really don't have a solid foundation for it. What are some of the mistakes that you see? And what are some of the low hanging pieces of fruit that people can make those changes to immediately to have more of that engagement and more of that success?
Definitely. Well, I would say, again, just taking it back to what I just said too, seeing what's working and replicating that. Next, after that, to not repeat myself, it's also going to be just try to make sure what you're posting is aesthetic and you actually see it being shared, right? So when you post it, be like, would people share this? Is it something that people would talk about or want to, send to a friend or something like that? Is it high quality? Don't just post just to post. Post with a little bit more intention so that time and energy that you spent creating that post actually goes somewhere. The next thing is, a lot of times you can get 200 views and you're like, oh my God, that's nothing. 200 views on a video. But right now we're sitting here with 118 people, and you guys would probably, if you were here, speaking, value that a lot more than just 200 views. But realistically, it is kind of the same number. So at the end of the day, don't get discouraged if you're not reaching as many people as you'd like, because if you keep posting maybe 5 times a day, well, look, that would equal to about 1,000 a day, 30,000 organic viewers a month. And obviously some videos are going to do even better. So statistically, you'd be potentially reaching 100,000 views a month just by consistently posting 5 times a day. Another low-hanging fruit that not many people take advantage of, even people that are at the top of the throne, that's actually people that take the least advantage of it, people that are actively going viral, which is a lot of times you guys will notice, maybe you've seen somebody that has 2 million views on a post, they don't have so many followers, or maybe you've gotten a lot of views and you've never even actually turned that into anything. And so the low-hanging fruit is anytime you have a video that does decently well, maybe instead of 200 views, you got 2,000 views. What you want to do is you want to go through those people that like the post that maybe didn't follow you because they got distracted by, never-ending content to go and see. And you can actually message those people and be like, hey, I saw that you liked my post. but you didn't get a chance to follow me. Let's follow each other and stay connected, right? So now you're taking advantage of that free data that you were able to get based off posting on Instagram, but you didn't just get excited that, hey, I got 2,000 views. You said, hey, I got 2,000 views. Now, how can I actually leverage and maximize that to get the most of what I just received, right? So anytime that I have a video that does really well, my team and I will always constantly go through the likes, new people that are liking it, maybe just filter by verified people or people that have any good quality page, since obviously you can't just message any and everybody. You got to limit it a little bit. So that's definitely a low-hanging fruit. I also did want to mention, Clay, that I do have a presentation and stuff as well, that I can go over and give everybody more insights and learnings and stuff like that, and show you guys more about what I do. So if you have another question, I would love to answer, but I do want you to know that I did have something prepared as well.
I knew that you had something prepared, brother. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of get the big three out of the way. So I'll turn it over to you and let it roll. And, don't be surprised when these guys have questions for you, because there are some very sharp people in here. And I'm looking at three of them right now on the screen that I know that they're going to ask questions, because what you do is going to be beneficial for them. So fire away, brother. Go right ahead.
Amazing, amazing. I really can't wait to hear everybody's questions. So guys, please, as I'm going, write down these questions, because I've done one of these calls before and we get some questions, but I want to answer as many questions as I can today because I'm feeling really good, today. So please, guys, write down these questions. Absolutely anything that comes to mind. There's never a stupid question. I want to be able to answer that for you. So diving right into it, guys, I want to show you my Instagram really quick. Only takes about 10 seconds just so you guys can connect, a face and see if, my resume, if you will, a little bit. Okay, so there's my Instagram. Anyone, you can go follow me right now. You can also post this on your story or just send me a message with the word 7Eagle. So that way we can talk personally. I only respond to my DMs. I have another company page with over 1 million followers where my team responds. But for my personal page, it's always only going to be me. So if you guys want to go ahead and take the time right now, I'll leave this on the screen for a little bit. DREMEDICI. Just send me a DM with the word 7Eagle if you're liking the value that you're getting so far. I'll wait for you guys a little bit, and then we'll jump right into a presentation that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So DREMEDICI. There's my Instagram. This is just showing, a few of my different purchases that I've been able to make through launching a successful marketing agency. So I never came from money. My dad was always struggling financially. I actually opened up a restaurant for my father in 2018 with the money that I had started making. And then once I put my father in a position where now we have a super successful restaurant in Miami where I give all the money to him, I just keep my equity for all the investment for the future. But up till now, I've never taken a dollar out of that. And then after I did that, I started to buy, the Lamborghini for tax write-off, a $1.5 million investment property for tax write-off as well. A nice little watch. And these are some things that you can do. I've never been a materialistic guy. I never dreamed about caring about materialistic things. But as you start progressing and you have that money available in your account, there are some things, especially when you're building your personal brand, that you want to just maybe start doing. Of course, guys like Warren Buffett have never went and done that and have way more money than me. But there is a certain point where you're young and you're living it, and you're only going to be that young and have that amount of money for, so much time. So if I'm always actively at networking events and masterminds, some of these things do kind of help. It doesn't mean that you need to do them or you need to think in that way at all. That's just a little bit to show you guys, what I've achieved so far by having a marketing agency that is a winning offer, guys. So I'm going to show you exactly, and you're going to be able to clearly understand why I've been able to have success. And it's because the service that I offer with my agency, when you hear it and understand it, you're going to totally agree that it's a done for you, no-brainer winning offer. Also, I see you guys are there in the chat. My LinkedIn, I'm not too active. I do prefer just going straight to my Instagram. That's where, my most activity is. So let's jump right into this presentation, guys, to show you about my agency and how I've been able to achieve all this, because all of my net worth has come purely from what I'm about to show you guys here right now. Nothing else. Our agency, well, actually my agency, I'm the sole founder, 100% equity owner, zero investors. We've done about $25 million in sales. I'm 25 years old for perspective. July 29, 2000 is my day of birth. So jumping right into it, guys, here are very few of some of the 7,500 plus clients that we've scaled, actually around 10,000 clients now. It's a little bit outdated here, but As you can see here, these two companies are on the NASDAQ. So we've been able to work with NASDAQ listed companies as well. There's a company that I grew from zero. I'm actually the co-founder of it as well. And I invested 100K into it in 2020. Today, we're worth around $200 million. And here are some other big names, big companies that I've worked with, obviously thousands of others, but we can't list them all on here. So jumping right into it, what we are solving at the agency is absolutely any business of any size, of any industry, leading us to having an unlimited total addressable market in the trillions because of the fact that we can service absolutely any and everybody. If you walk into a coffee shop, you see a dentist, a restaurant owner, a vet, whoever it is, a realtor, we can help them. And the way that we do it is by solving these 3 pillars to success. Okay. Pillar number 1 is social proof. Pillar number 2 is lead generation, content. And pillar number 3 is lead generation. Let me break these down for you guys so you understand perfectly. Let's just take a restaurant, for example. You have 2 restaurants. One restaurant has about 200 followers, ugly content, and they have no clue how they're going to get their next customer through the door. Their restaurant, their brick and mortar doesn't even look nice either, but we'll just leave it at the digital aspect. Then you have another restaurant, okay, who has around 25,000 followers. Their content is all aesthetic with high quality equipment, and they know how to get leads predictably every single day. Who is going to have more success? It's always going to be that one with the 25K. Now, let me break down a little bit more scenarios. Now, let's say that you're deciding you want to go on a date with your partner and you're deciding where you're going to take them. You look at the menu, both of them are around the same price, so it's not a price thing. One has 200 followers, the other one has 25K. Which one are you going to go to? Right? So when a restaurant can make a very small minimal investment, maybe $2,500 to now get, 15,000 followers, to get lead gen, to get content strategy, to have all that built out, they make that payment one time, they have all of that forever. It makes 100% sense for them to do it because they can already see what that's going to do for them, because they know psychologically when they go look at a page for the first time, they're looking at that. So they know if they can plug that system into their business, they're going to have a lot more success as well. So if that is making sense, or you have any questions or anything, please leave it in the chat. So here's another example. I just mentioned to you guys a company that I grew personally as one of the co-founders and main investors to a 200 million valuation. Now, how did I do it? Did I just was it rocket science? No, guys. I just followed the 3 pillars to success. Those 3 pillars, as you can see, when we started it, the company had 300 followers. Now, if you go look at it, the company is not updated, 1.2 million followers. Now, as well, on top of that, let me just show you right on my phone here, guys. I'm going to actually show you for the restaurant just to bring myself back. I didn't realize I had my phone in my pocket. Let me just slow it down for you guys. So this is my restaurant in Miami, okay? I'm going to show you guys here. It's going to be small because I have the screen shared, but hopefully you guys can look in. Do you guys see the restaurant here, 50,000 followers, right? Do you guys also see, try to come and zoom in, make me the spotlight on your screen. And you can also see the content is super aesthetic and high quality. Can we all see that, guys? Very professional stuff, very high quality, very nice imagery. And then, of course, what do we also have? Do we just have that? No, we make sure that we contact people in Miami every single day to bring never-ending people to the restaurant. Then if we go look at LinkMe, the company that I'm showing you guys right here, you can see we have 1.2 million followers, as you see right here. And then not only are we following social proof, as you guys can see right here, but we also have the content aspect, right? Very nice aesthetic content. And then what are we also doing? The lead generation aspect. So you see we're messaging all these influencers right now while we're on this call. My team is in there making this happen, going after all the biggest influencers in the world. And that's how we've been able to get all the biggest influencers to use us. And that's what's allowed us to scale our valuation. Now, if we were trying to connect with the biggest influencers in the world, for example, if any of you guys like the NBA, you got Anthony Edwards using it. If any of you guys like music, like Jason Derulo, you can go look at his link in bio. He's using it. If you've heard of people like Patrick Bet-David, Brad Lee, important entrepreneurs, they're using it. If you like the UFC, Sugar Sean, and about 40% of the UFC, they're all using it. And the only way we got them was through messaging them with this page that has credibility, has a social proof. Now, if I would have been messaging them with this 300 follower page like most businesses stay at forever, no one would have taken me seriously, no one would respond, and the company would never grow. But by following these key components, now the company was able to grow to huge heights. So everything that I do in my own businesses, I also offer to clients. So they know that my conviction is through the roof with what I do because I spend the money to do it for myself. So going into the next slide, guys. How do we actually grow the following? Well, we have a way where we do it by sending out millions of messages every single day, and we're able to grow our clients on demand guaranteed, while also helping them with their content strategies to help them go additionally viral on top of the paid efforts that we do, and also just help them grow organically without any of our support as well. So jumping more into it, once we actually establish that and have their built social presence, we make sure that we're bringing in their targeted audience. So for example, as you can see for one of our clients here, she wanted to get female entrepreneur followers to come in right to her page. All these people that are top female entrepreneurs are messaging her followed because we know how to go after your exact ideal target audience. As I also mentioned, we know how to help you go additionally viral. So for example, here's, after using our services and learning how to go viral, you can see our client here, you can match the same face a little bit. He was getting, a few thousand views. And then with our strategies, he even got a video that hit 16.5 million views, and all the other ones were going up. There's another one right here. He's a ACL fitness coach. He started with just, a few thousand views again, and then we were hitting 7 mil. If you go look at his page now, I'll show it to you guys after. He's generating like tens of millions of views on a lot of videos. Like you can see right here, some more 6 mil. Etc. Right? 11 mil, 9.9 mil, 6.7, 3.4. And like that, we were able to grow his business all from scratch, from building him up. So going into how I mentioned the lead generation aspect. So this is forget about the content, forget about the social proof. This is purely the lead generation aspect. So as you can see right here, for absolutely any industry, if it's a restaurant, we know how to generate them leads. Hey, would you like to come in? Great. We made a reservation for this evening. Hey, this is for a fitness coach. Hey, do you want to learn more about my program? Yes, I need a transformation for sure. Here's an investment company. Can we do a Zoom call? Here's a realtor. She's looking for new buyers. Hey, Tara, we have a budget around 800K. Okay, perfect. Here's a dental industry. Same thing. Hey, this sounds good. How do I get started? This is for every single industry. Okay, gym, barbershop, Airbnb, restaurant, car rentals, you name it. We can get you leads every single day for the lowest price on the market. Influencers with LinkMe, just like I was telling you guys, same exact copy and paste script, 11 million followers, 5.6 million. They all respond because we have social proof. Now, let me pause right here for 1 second, guys. Here's when, as you can see already, you're starting to understand why my offer could possibly be a no-brainer offer. But most importantly, I want to show you how I take it a step further. It's always trying to see what the market is saturated with and having your own unique value proposition. That way, when you receive an objection, you can always handle it. What do I mean by that? When I talk to a company and they tell me, hey, actually, we don't need your services. We already have a marketing agency. Most people will say, all right, no problem, on to the next. Now, here's where that's not a situation for me. When a company tells me, hey, I already have a marketing agency, I respond to them and I say, that's no problem at all. Most of the clients that we work with already have a marketing agency. However, we have unique services that we know for 100% guarantee they are not currently offering. So you can keep your marketing agency, and we would love to come in and fill the gaps and give you some of the lowest priced, best quality services to get you leads and take your social presence to the next level guaranteed. So now I have zero objection. But let me further explain what I meant by this additional no-brainer offer that we have. So guys, I understand you're not actively in the industry as much as I am every single day, but I'm sure some of you guys in here have heard about marketing agencies that run your ads. This means, hey, I can run your Google ads. Hey, I can run your Meta ads. Hey, I can run your Instagram, etc. The problem with this is that these people are going to a small business. I'm going to give you an example. Let's use the restaurant example so we're all clear. We have a simple example to use. So a marketing agency that can only run ads, that's the only service that they know how to do, they're going to say, hey, I'm going to charge you $2,500 to $3,500, even if they're decent. Somebody really good can charge $5,000 and even take a percentage of ad spend. If they're decent, they're going to say, I'm going to charge you $2,500 to $3,500. You guys can look this up on ChatGPT and fact check me as well. Now, here's the problem with that, guys. When they go to a small business, a restaurant, who spends, each customer that comes in maybe spends $50 to $100. Maybe they keep $20 out of that. They're not selling real estate homes where they're making $25,000 on a home. So their margins are not that big. And when you're doing marketing, your goal is to give them such a good service that they're seeing an ROI so that clients stay with you monthly. That's why I have hundreds and hundreds of clients that have been paying us for 4 or 5 years, because we actively, continuously get them the return on their investment. Now, these marketing agencies, what they do, going back to my point, they charge a minimum of $2,500 to $3,500, and they don't include one single penny of that fee that they just charge you into actually spending it in reaching new people with your ads. So what does that mean? That means they go to a restaurant, they say, we charge $2,500 to $3,500 to run your ads. And now you have to attach your credit card so we can actually reach people with the ads that we're setting up. So now a restaurant, let's say they have a minimum investment, they got to spend $5,000 because they got to put $2,500 to $3,500 to the ad agency, and then they got to put $2,500 to actually reach people. If not, what's the point of paying that to the ad agency if you're not going to spend money on reaching people? So what did I do, guys? I said, look, I have a solution where I can start getting you 3 to 5 leads every single day locally for $1,000 all in. You don't have to pay a single dollar to Meta. You don't have to pay a single dollar to our ad agency fee. We charge you $1,000. Our team is all US based. We spend around 10 hours a day in your account. We have the skill sets on how to do this. If you hire somebody minimum wage to spend the amount of hours we do, you're paying $5,500 a month, and they still have no clue how to generate the leads that we do because we've been doing this for 8 years. So guys, can you guys drop in the, or don't even worry about dropping in the chat, it's all good. But I hope you guys can process and understand how that makes sense, that it's a no-brainer, because a business, another agency goes to somebody and they make them spend an average of $5K to get them the same amount of leads that we go and generate them for $1,000 for full 31 days of the month of work. So if you guys fully understand that or have any questions on it, please save it for the end. But I really hope you guys understand that part because it's very, very important. The next thing we can do, guys, if the client says, hey, we got so many results with $1,000 and you want to scale them up and they want to start spending $20,000 a month, you just have them make a bunch, you make for them, we do it for them, a bunch of backup accounts. So now we can do $1,000 charging them on each page. They're getting way more leads, way more customers, and we have a way to keep scaling up their budget, generating more leads as a company. So just skipping through some stuff here, guys. We obviously do everything else, Meta ads, TikTok ads, all that. I'll show you our website as well really quick, just so you guys can see the way we offer it, because part of this call is, I am looking for people who believe in this service, want to be part of it, they understand it, and they want to start making money with us right away. We have a lot of opportunities. I've hired over 1,000 people, from my page over the last 8 years. So this is something that I constantly do. I have the experience, I have the SOPs, I have my team to train you. I don't charge any money to train you or anything like that. So it's really just, if you see you can have people that are interested in this service, or I can show you how to continuously get people, because it's really easy just by cold calling or finding people that are interested in the service, or social media, or door to door. There's just never endless ways on how to get in touch with people, and everybody needs this. So it's very easy to sell, and it's high ticket. So your time is going to be rewarded very greatly. So basically this is our website and how we position everything. So we have unlimited services. As you can see right here, we offer every marketing service that exists. Okay. But just to not overwhelm our clients, we typically, when we're on a call, we'll start them off with pressing on this, and then we'll say, Mr. Client or Mrs. Client, just go ahead, scroll through this and find something that you think fits you best. All of a sudden they're like, oh, the 10K is the most popular. I want that one. Boom. You guys sell somebody on that, you make 15%. That's 1,500 sent to your bank account in the same day. You don't have to fulfill for the client, do anything like that, anything at all. If you're just making intros in a group chat, you make 7.5%. All you have to do is take 10 seconds of your time, say, hey, this is Dre. He runs one of the biggest marketing agencies out of Miami. Would love to connect you. I take the call, send you the recorded call. They close 10K. You get $750 just for making a group chat. If you close them and do the whole thing, you get the full 15%, on that as well. Then if you want to come look at, different case studies, like I mentioned, we do this for every industry that exists. You can come right here and see all the different results. You can also see a bunch of before and afters. And most importantly, you can come and hear people's actual experience, mentioning my name, mentioning the company name. These are all legitimate clients of ours over the last few years. We don't have all of them, just have a good amount here. You can go through this, hear people's experience. And yeah, really, cool thing to see. So for example, if you wanted to just see an example of something that you can check out later, this client right here, Anthony DeJohn, he has a video talking about how we grew him to 400,000 followers Since then, we've actually grown him way more. So this is him right here. He's at about 1 million followers, but you can match his face and see, that's him as well. And the last thing that I'll show you too, because I know this will give you guys that extra conviction too. So someone like that you see his video testimonial, you see his before and after there. I want to show you what I meant about how when these clients sign up, you will earn money forever. Because another thing that I do that's super unique at my company is when you sign somebody up, not only do you get that 15% that I mentioned, but you also have a royalty attached where you'll be making money on this client for the rest of your life that they're paying really. And so you can see right here with Anthony DeJohn that I was just showing you guys his before and after that we've grown him to 1 million followers. You can see since 2022, he's never missed a payment, not one single month. This is from 2022. Never missed a payment. He's making it every single month, no matter what. And this is what happens with, a bunch of my clients across the board. I can do this with many, many people, and this is how it goes. So guys, I'll leave the floor to you in terms of Q&As and anything that you guys have to ask or anything. Really looking forward to, connecting with you guys, one-on-one.
All right. I know Christopher has been chomping at the bit to ask you a question. So, Christopher, you go ahead. Then Mateus, you go ahead, sir.
All right. Good morning, Dre.
Good afternoon, brother.
Thank you for being here with us and sharing these valuable insights. But I think a lot of us here may not have experience in marketing or how to market ourselves. So what free advice can you give to people struggling to gain traction online, no matter how many times they reach out or try to make their posts relevant?
Great question, brother. So I did cover a lot of that in the beginning of the call. The next thing that I would say to answer that is definitely send me a message on Instagram and I'll give you a free audit on your page. Personally, what I think you're missing there. Another thing that I would say as well is you need to try to elevate and make your content a little bit more aesthetic. So for example, maybe right now with your content, you're just doing it on an Android or your phone or something like that. You can also, I'll give you a quick tip here. You can search up on Instagram the state that you're located in. You can go to the search engine. You put the state that you're located in. So let's just say, for me, for example, Florida, or even better, the city, right? Miami, or you just take wherever your city that you're in. And you can put city name, videographer, okay? And you're going to have people there that you're going to find their profile. And you're going to say, hey, I wanted to ask if you would be open to doing a free content shoot. I'm looking to grow my personal brand this year. If it goes well, I'll refer you business. You do a free shoot with them. Maybe they say no. Another guy says yes. Try to go for the one that's just getting started. And you can start having high quality content. In 1 hour shoot, bring a few different outfits, or 2 hour shoot. You can have a bunch of different content made right then and there. The next thing is, guys, content is not about the minute video you put. The content is about the first 3 seconds. Okay, that's why maybe in the past when you're on social media, you've gotten your attention hooked by maybe a viral meme or something that didn't even have to do with the video, but then they transition into the video. So maybe in the first 3 seconds, it's a lady slipping and falling, and then you start off the video talking while you're on the ground, right? Maybe you guys have seen something like that. And so that's what the first 3 seconds really does, right? It allows you to capture that viewer's attention and the watch time goes up and Instagram notices that. The next thing I'm going to tell you, Christopher, lastly, okay, is very important. There's a feature called trial reels on Instagram. Okay, what trial reels is it means you can just test posting content and it doesn't have to go to any of your followers. Now, the reason why trial reels is so important is because of the fact that if you want to post 10 times a day and you don't want to burn out your current followers so you're not bothering them, you can post 10 times a day and none of your followers are seeing it. Now, what I want to show you here is this is, for example, a trial reel, some trial reels on my page. Okay, so this right here, for example, is a viral text where it says defending someone and then, they prove you wrong is a humbling experience, right? This is not going to any of my followers. Keep in mind, that's why it doesn't go, so viral or anything like that. But if you see the statistics right here, you can see that it got about 25 shares. Okay, and this was just posted. You can see the date right here, 18 hours ago. Okay, 25 shares 18 hours ago, and none of my followers are allowed to see it. It's completely free. Not so bad. That means 25 people were talking about me, and now if they see an ad of me or something like that, they may recognize my face, okay? I can post these all day, though, right? So this is something where, you can constantly do it. I didn't make up that text. I stole that text. Why? Because if I go now to my reels, keep in mind what I was explaining to you guys. I said engage with content that has to do with something in your niche that you feel you could easily replicate. So right now, before even testing it out, when I press on the Reels tab, I can already tell you what I'm going to see in my Reels tab. I'm going to see viral text, the post. I'm looking at post that has already gone viral with the viral audio. All I need to do is screenshot that text, use the same audio, go on my camera roll and swipe through like this and choose any video that I think is decent, throw it on, copy and paste the text. I am now guaranteed to get more views than if I was just posting a video, making something up, because the algorithm already knows what I'm posting. It already knows that that text and that audio has gone viral. So my chance of getting shares when it's not going to any of my audience is going to be a lot higher. So going back to what I was saying, if I now press on the Reels tab right here, what do we see? Just what I told you guys. Viral video, viral text, same thing. Viral text, viral video, viral text, viral video, viral text, viral video. And I know how to just go, and every day it takes me 2 minutes and just post that. Okay? So yours is not going to look like that right now because you need to optimize your page to look like that. The next time you come across something like that, engage with it, like it, save it, and now Instagram's going to give you more of that. That's how it works. You need to program it. So guys, I know I went a little over on that question. So please, guys, next question. Sorry about that.
Awesome.
Hope you got value, Chris.
Hey, Dre, how you doing today?
Amazing, brother. Thank you.
So this question popped in my mind. Big history nerd, especially European history. So I gotta ask: are you in any way related to the Medici family, banking family of Florence?
Hey, man, that's a great question. I definitely is my legal last name, so that's the most that I could tell you, right? But it definitely goes back way too back. I was actually born in Uruguay, but obviously my great grandparents and stuff migrated there from Italy, so it's looking pretty accurate. But unluckily, I didn't get any inheritance from any of that stuff, So I don't know what to say about it.
I'll say you got the business mindset though, so like it adds
hey,
up.
Man, I'll take that. Definitely right. A lot of my talents definitely were given by God, for sure.
All right, Derek, hang on a second because Corbin actually had a question before you. He actually dropped in chat. So Corbin, I'm going to let you go next, and then Derek, you're next.
Hey, awesome. Yeah, thanks. And this will be super quick. So you mentioned the royalties. I was just curious, is that the royalties also at that 15% or 7% rate, or is that a lower rate for the rest of forever?
Yeah, 2.5
or however long they keep
5%.
subscribing.
2.5 and 5%. So basically, like, for example, I'll give you a quick look at like what this looks like. So this is one of my vetted closers that's been on the team for like 5 years. So he obviously gets, a little bit more commission and he's generating these leads and doing the full closing process. But I'll show you really quick like what it looks like. So you'll see like on an average month, let's say he went on vacation, he didn't close that many deals actively for that month, but because he has, these deals from past closes, he has income to pay for his rent, to pay for everything because he has that royalty. And I strongly believe that I'm the only company out there when offering sales positions like this that actually does that. Because a lot of times people will be like, yeah, you generated the sale, but obviously that's, company data. So I structure it very differently. So for example, you can see right on my screen, he'll send me this on February 3rd and he'll be like, let me see if I can show you this. It'll be like, look, there's my payment for my new closes. And then from monthlies, just from what you already paid, this from just from Feb 3rd to, he sent it right on Feb 3rd, but it was really just from, the rest of January. And then you can come right here and see all these people basically pay monthly, and then he has his commission attached to it, every single month just for old closes, right? So that's kind of how that portion works.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, Derek, go ahead, brother. Hit your question.
All right, thank you. How's it going, Jay? You doing all right today?
Yes, sir, brother. I appreciate you. I've been waiting for your question.
Cool.
I see you ready.
Yeah, I'm just, just standing by. They say in the military. First and foremost, I do admire and appreciate how you give credit where credit is due. You thank God for the gifts that He's given you. Really do admire that. Second of all, out of all the business ideas that are floating around in the market, out of all of them, why did you settle on the one that you did, and what was the biggest hurdle you overcame in your rise to, success?
Unreal question, brother. You got me fired up with this question. I got the most perfect answer for you because everything you mentioned is what happened, right? It didn't just happen overnight. It's definitely some things I had to go through. So I'll break it down to you really, really quick. Like I said, 10 to 17 years old, I was definitely an active entrepreneur, but I was still a full-time, full-time in school, full-time soccer player. But I was on my way to the games, stopping to get, sell this guy the shoes and doing that. But it was more so seasonal. Maybe I was bringing in, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a month. It wasn't life-changing money. But when I came across, when I was 17, I was one of the best shape, on my soccer team. A lot of the girls in high school, people were getting ready to go to college, freshman 15. They start asking me, how can I get in shape? How can I transform my body? And I said, hold on. All these businesses I've been doing, they're like, seasonal when there's a good drop or when there's a good event or something like that. But it wasn't something that I can sell every single day and literally make money every single day. So when I had this idea, I said, wow, this is something that I'm going to make money with every single day. So my first Instagram business in 2017 was a workout meal plan business. With that business, what I did was basically anyone that wanted to transform their body, they would fill out a Google form. The reason why I mentioned Google form, because it was free. So this is how I generated $100,000 in profit with $0 needed, because people think you need capital, credit, not true. So I had a Google form. You could fill it out. You could tell me what your goals were. You wanted to gain muscle or you wanted to lose weight, whatever it was. I would then I would customize a workout plan, and then I had generic videos and generic cooking tutorial videos that I would also include just for everybody the same. But then your customized Google plan on Google Doc would have specifically what I wanted you to specifically eat and the type of training intervals that I wanted you to do. Now, why am I mentioning all this to you? Because this was a quote unquote a successful business. It allowed me to drop out of college because I was making, $5,000, $10,000 profit a month. Dropped out of college 3 months in, and moved to New York, got an office, all of that stuff. It was cool, but it was nothing near when I launched the marketing agency, and I'm going to break that down to you. So there's a few reasons why. The first reason was I was an inexperienced business owner. What that meant was I didn't know about ads. I didn't really know about marketing. I didn't really know about high ticket. I didn't really know about monthly subscriptions, right? I didn't have parents that were CEOs. I was just getting started. I had to figure it out, and learn from my mistakes. And so my mistake at that time was I charged $120 for the plan, and I never charged you anything again. So what did that mean? That means that every single new month, I have to hustle my ass off because I'm not getting paid from any of the work that I did the month before. That was my biggest mistake. It was having a low ticket offer and not having a monthly subscription attached to that. Maybe if it had a monthly subscription attached, I would still be keeping that business on the side, but I just decided to go all in on the marketing agency. Now, here was when my entire life changed. Once I had results with the fitness business and I had results with the restaurant, I had results with the personal brand, I said, I'm going to launch the marketing agency where I'm going to take those services that I just implemented to get sales in those businesses and sell them to other businesses. Now, here was the main difference. When I'm charging somebody to transform their body and I want to go from charging them $120 to $1,000, if that $1,000 is not making them $2,000, no matter how good I am at transforming somebody's body, it's going to be a harder decision than if I can get $1,000 from them and make them $2,000. So I said, I'm going to be a lot better and be able to charge people a lot more money and be able to charge them monthly if I'm making them money, not just transforming their body. So I said, my minimum now is $1,500. And most of the time, you're going to pay monthly for that as well. If not, you're going to be on a small monthly at least. And that was when my life completely changed, because now every new month I have income from the last month. And now everyone that I sign up for $1,500 is actually the effort that it took me to do about 10 phone calls before, right? 10 to 15 phone calls before. So the difference in the workload was also transformational. And so the biggest thing and the reason why I chose this industry to answer your question was, one, because it was something where I could charge high ticket, I could charge monthly. It was something that everybody needed. It's not just a course. I don't sell a course. I sell a done for you solution to get them the results guaranteed as long as they pay. And again, it was something where it was making them an ROI. And so that was when my life transformed. And believe it or not, my first year with the marketing agency, I already generated over $1 million because I already knew that it was going to be $1 million business because it was high ticket, monthly, everybody needed it. And I already knew how to get my stuff out there the way I did with the other businesses. Now I just needed to switch the system a little bit and everything was going to work out. And that's what happened.
That's good. That's supply and demand. You saw it, you attacked it, and then on top of that, it was minimal work for you because it was a proven process. Just
So
I
to,
like it.
so to give you the most value from this and what you want to remember always is when you're choosing an opportunity, whether you want to sell and make commission, you better make sure whatever you're selling is high ticket and it has some type of royalty where you're getting paid monthly. Because if you're selling, for example, something for $20, you're not going to get too far, very far. That's why, for example, I
Mhm.
also have my real estate license because we get realtors leads because it's a high ticket market. I'm getting them leads and they're making $30,000 profit. So I can have a little bit of share of that. And now that's me entering a high ticket market, right? So you always want to think, how can I get in a high ticket industry? And the offer is really good. So I'm not dealing with refunds, anything like that. And people also want to keep paying me monthly. So just remember that, brother, and you're going to save so much time.
Appreciate you, Dre.
All right, we got time for one last question. I got to get these guys out on a break. Newa, go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, Dre. Thank you for being here. So I just want to know, with so many veterans looking to transition into the entrepreneurship or business, what advice would you give for building confidence and applying their military experience into a completely new industry?
Amazing, amazing. So definitely confidence is going to come from experience, okay, and trial and working. I can assure you that if I would have hopped on this call in 2018, I wouldn't sound the same that I do today, right? And that's because if you see my page, I've been speaking on stages, I've been, doing videos all the time. So a lot of it is going to come from just putting yourself out there consistently, not caring about, videos not doing well. You just want to stay consistent, keep trying to fine tune what you can do. So definitely the confidence is going to come from practice. Okay. We also have a friend, ChatGPT, that you can use for help. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm a military veteran. I'm exiting out. This is what my life is like. Give me some viral hooks, some viral videos that I can do, and it'll tell you exactly what to do. You can even go on Amazon, buy a teleprompter, and read right off the screen while you're doing the video. You don't even have to worry about getting it right. Also, with editing, if you're filming a video and you're stumbling on your words, just continue at the last word you set right, and then just split cut it in your editing platform on CapCut, which is free. You don't need to restart and frustrate yourself. You just keep going. All these little things are going to make the process easier. And I would just say, keep trying to provide value to, the community. And like I said, look at things that are going viral. Another thing is, if there's a current event or something happening, if you can have your opinion on that, obviously if you don't want to, if you want to do it in the right way, those are great moments because everyone's talking about that thing that's happening, in the world. When Maduro, for example, got captured, if you would have made a video on that in that exact same day, a quick one on your phone, it would do more views than just a regular general video talking about what you ate today. That's just kind of how the algorithm works. So it's about thinking like that and just keep practicing and then, trying to work with a coach like myself. So guys, please DM me on Instagram. Don't miss out on this. No one should be too good at DM because I'm going to give anyone value that DMs me. I'm going to send you my course for free that has, a bunch of value there. If you guys have some optimized profiles, I'll make you guys a link me for free as well. So I'm going to link my Instagram right here. If you guys just want to take the time to send me a DM one last time right here. And then, like I said, it'll be me personally answering, after this call throughout the day. And we'll take it from there.
Thank you. Thank you for answering my question.
Of course.
Awesome. All right, that is time for us today. I got to give these guys a little bit of a break, Dre, but I do greatly appreciate your time. I will definitely be connecting with you because I really would like to pick your brain a lot more, especially everything that you have done. But from the bottom of my heart, well, all of us here at Seven Eagle Group, and for everyone here at the Connections cohort, thank you very much for your time in this very busy day. Greatly appreciate you, and I look forward to speaking with you in the future and bringing that experience to the table for these veterans.
Amazing, guys. I really enjoyed providing as much value as I can and looking forward to keep helping all of you here. Just send me a message and,